I always hate because like I can never tell when this thing is recording or not. Hey, welcome to week 77 here on the Real DVD Watchers on Wednesdays. It's me, Tom. So it's almost been a year since I reviewed the first movie in this, so I figured that I should just do the sequel because a lot of people dog on the sequel, and yes, it is not as good as the original, but it's still a really good movie, especially if you like the style of the movie. It's Ghostbusters 2, written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, directed by Ivan Reitman. Pretty much this picks up 5 years after the events of the first Ghostbusters. Pretty much the guys are learning that, without any ghosts, they're pretty much dead. I mean, everyone's kind of moved on, except for Ray and Winston, because they're just doing birthday parties now just to get by. And everyone has started, their own business or something like that. Like, Egon is working I'm pretty sure he's working at NYU again, studying the reactions of positive negative reinforcement. Ray is working in his own bookstore. It doesn't really say what Winston's doing, truth be told. And Peter's actually started his own TV show called The World of the Psychic. Now, the reason why they're all back together is because this pink slime is surging underneath New York, and Dana Barrett, she now has a kid. She was married, and the guy took off. So she has this kid, and one day she's taking him out for a walk in his stroller, and the stroller goes through some pink slime. And when Dana stops to talk to her superintendent of the building, the carriage takes off, goes running into traffic just of its own sheer will. So Dana, of course, goes back to the guys and is like, "Hey, help me." So from then on, we learn that Dana and Venkman were involved in a serious relationship, but just that kind of crumbled because Venkman really is telling the guy, as he says, you can't tie down. Except Dana's like, "You were kind of a dick. That's why we broke up." So from then on, it becomes, you learn that all this pink slime is going underneath to this art museum where Dana now works, and the curator, Poha Janosch, has pretty much succumbed to the will of this Carpathian warlock named Vigo. And Vigo pretty much intends to put his soul into a child so that way he can be reborn and take over the world again. And of course, Ghostbusters can't have that, so pretty much they set out to stop him when they finally understand what's going on. So I want to talk about the feel of this movie because it does have a lot of the same elements as the first one, but just this one feels different because it's not as, because everything was just so fresh in the first Ghostbusters, there was an air of excitement and just this air of just, they were really hyped up to what they were doing. And in the second one, there was still a little bit of it there, but just it kind of felt like, yeah, we've done this all before. I mean, Ray truly kept up with his, everything's really cool, everything's exciting, even though this may be horrible and disgusting, it's still really cool to at least experience. Egon just seemed really, really been there, done that. Winston, Ernie Hudson, they don't really give him a lot to do, which I kind of feel diminishes him as a character. I know they're not trying to do that by any means, but just for me, it just seems like, hey, we need a black guy who's going to save the day a couple times and help us out. I know it sounds really, really mean, but just to me, that's how this one kind of felt. And Venkman is just more so of an asshole, but just there's somewhat of an innocence to his asshole in this movie that I just felt didn't work. It wasn't as, as comfortable with it, if you will. I mean, there are some scenes where he is classic Venkman, like when they're in on trial and he's leading Louis Tully through his questions. I mean, that's just pure Peter Venkman right there. But just for me, it just didn't really feel like it. And also, I think another really fun thing about it was the actual ghostbusting aspect of it. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of it in the mock-up. In the mock-up shots, where it's just clip, but we don't really get to see a lot of it, you think with a movie with a bigger budget and stuff like that, they try to go more all out with Ghostbusting. I mean, I understand why though, because you have these great scenes, especially when the Statue of Liberty is walking down First Avenue, and everyone's cheering, and then they have to cover the National History Museum, with with slime, and I'm pretty sure like a lot of those slime effects took up a lot of the budget. But just for me, it would have been cooler to see more ghost busting. I mean, because that's essentially what the foundation of the movie's based off of, is ghost busting. So for me, that kind of really bugged me. The writing is top notch again. I mean, when Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd said to do a Ghostbusters movie, you know it's going to be fun. Hell, even the video game was a blast. The new slime blower as a weapon, you know, it's really cool to see them building on something. And the slime blower is a great weapon, especially when the slime is positively charmed. And at the end with Stance and Janos, when they've been sprayed and they're just coming back and they're feeling so good. Oh, it's just hilarious. I want to talk about the way how some of the ghosts looked. Some of the ghosts, like, they kept up the same like cartoony style ghosts, you know. Which, you know, is a staple of the Ghostbusters universe, because those ghosts kind of have to have an air of cartoonish to them, so that way it works. But just, I don't know, like, it just felt really not as committed, if you will. So for me, it's kind of a bring down, you know. Directing again, Evan Reitman, top notch, back from the days, you know, when he was a top notch director. Today, it just seems like his heart just isn't in it anymore. I mean, I don't know. It's like he's like, yeah, you know, I've made some great movies, you know, but now it's time for my son to take over. He'll make Up in the Air and Juno, and thank you for smoking. Really, he'll only make one good movie, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's still really good, especially if you're a fan of the Ghostbusters, but just, it lacks a lot of what the first had. So yeah, if I had to give this movie a rating out of 10, it definitely got like a 6.5. It's still better than the average movie, but just when you compare it to the first one, it's good, but it's just not on par with it, you know. So yeah, so that's the review. Thanks to everyone who watches and subscribes as always, and I'll be back in a week's time.